I'm letting go because it's hurting me. It's not benefiting me. I'm letting go because it's not it's not serving a purpose in my life, right? So if it's not pouring into me, if it's not making me better, if it's not leading me to the path that aligns with my future, then I gotta let it go. And it just gotta go. It has to go away. But listen, I feel like when it's time to let go, everything is going to go wrong, right? Everything is going to come at you. It's going to be obstacle after obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, right? And if you don't let go, you're gonna keep getting obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. It's going to keep going.
Hey, is it hard?
Welcome to the Breaking the Silence podcast. I am your host, author Nikki Nicole. Here I believe in winning together and creating a safe, supportive space for people to share their stories and start their healing journey. My passion is to help people confront hidden battles, embrace their truths, and take steps towards a more fulfilling life. Every episode is designed to break the silence on topics that often go unspoken, leading to conversations that uplift, inspire, and transform. Join me as we break the barriers and find strength through shared experiences, one story at a time. Hey, sis.
Had to make sure my mic wasn't muted. I'm trying to tell you, you think I'd be used to it by now as many times as I've been up here, but
exactly, like what you doing? All right. It's time for another Compassion Roundtable, and I'm excited about having these amazing people on the stage. Won't you introduce these people on the stage? Because you know them better than me. I knew them last.
I do, right? I do.
Yeah, you do.
I feel like this my favorite. You should just call this my fave roundtable, okay?
Okay.
Like all my favorite people is on here. So we're gonna start off with Coach Shay Williams. And I've known Shay for years, since we were like teeny tiny, right? And she is this awesome life coach. She's a wife, she's a mother, she has all of these hats, right? But when you need true motivation, you definitely go, okay, to Coach Shay. Okay. Then we have my BFF of over 20 years, Mr. Thomas Barron, and he is a minister, he is a husband, he is a father, and he's the best BFF ever. But when you need some wisdom and you don't want somebody to sugarcoat nothing, because you know sometimes we like to hear stuff that we want to hear, he's not the one. That's not the one you go to. But when you want somebody to tell you the real, you go to Thomas Barron. And then last, but certainly not least, the world-renowned coach Tammy Nicole, okay? She is teaching us about self-love and appreciation, and you know, we here for it because something like self-love is definitely something that we neglect on a daily basis. So she's gonna get you right, and she's gonna get you in the right mindset, and she's gonna tell you that's other people's problems, not yours. She's gonna teach you about the boundaries. Okay.
And she gonna tell you about yourself too. She told me I
was She told you a couple of times.
Don't forget. I'm gonna be interviewing you.
You on your own interview. How about that?
Okay. All right. So we're gonna welcome these. We're gonna do an intro to welcome these amazing people onto the platform. So after their introduction, please welcome all three of these amazing people to the platform. He on the stage though. It would work if I changed over. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Oh man,
We
long
we
day,
be
y'all.
that
Long
much
day.
closer to coming from the ceiling, y'all. I promise you. Next year we're gonna be coming from the ceiling because breaking the silence. I tell you, these graphics every single time, baby. You just
I always got something to say. You do this every time. I told you about
I'm
that.
trying to tell you,
It ain't existence
we
now.
one episode closer to being from the ceiling because you, man, no, no.
You a mess. You a mess. All right, so it's on you now. I'm handing over to you now.
You always do that. Okay.
Well,
So, tonight we are talking about when letting go is necessary. And it was vital that we had y'all three because y'all three personally can attest to letting go and changing the narrative and really speaking and teaching the people on how to do those necessary things. So we got a couple of questions and you guys know the order and I'm going to put the questions down, ask the question, of course, and then you guys can answer. So the first question is, what does letting go mean to you personally?
So that would be me, right? Letting go to me would be first identifying why you're letting go. So to me, I need to identify why I'm letting go first, and if it's necessary for me to let go. I'm doing my pros and cons. Is this and it depends what I'm letting go. So is it a person? Is it a thing? I might go about it a little different, but I'm letting go because it's hurting me. It's not benefiting me. I'm letting go because it's not it's not serving a purpose in my life, right? So if it's not pouring into me, if it's not making me better, if it's not leading me to the path that aligns with my future, then I gotta let it go. And it just gotta go. It has to go away. But listen, I feel like when it's time to let go, everything is going to go wrong, right? Everything is going to come at you. It's going to be obstacle after obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, right? And if you don't let go, you're gonna keep getting obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. It's going to keep going and going. It's gonna be never ending because you're not letting go, right? So for me, I am identifying the problem, right? Then after I identify that problem, I'm letting go by first, I'm going to apologize to myself for even allowing myself to endure all of that. Okay? That's one. So I'm going to have some self compassion for myself. I'm going to have some empathy. I'm going to have some, I'm going to listen, listen to the signs that's telling me. Because I feel like you always know, you get that gut feeling inside and it tells you exactly what to do. And it's up to you to listen, right? So I'm listening to that intuition in me, and I'm gonna follow exactly what it tells me to do. And whatever path that leads me on, that's the path that I'm gonna follow.
Okay, I ain't saying nothing because I just wanted to make sure you was done. Um, for me personally, letting go is releasing myself from something that's no longer beneficial. And not just me releasing. I hope people do the same for me. If I am no longer benefiting your life, if I am no longer serving my purpose to you, then let me go too. Um, and I'm going through this right now. It's funny that we are having this conversation right now because I'm literally going through a situation where I'm letting some people go because right now I'm in a tough season in my life. And when I'm in that, when other people are in that tough season, I'm the one picking up the phone like, "Hey, you okay? You good? What's going on? How's your mental?" And I'm noticing I'm not getting that same thing going on for me. So I'm like, okay, so this is a one-way street. I'm gonna block it off now because now I'm in my hard season and I'm in my hard season by myself when it comes to certain people. So now it's time for me to release you back into whoever you're going to serve your purpose for, because now I'm more worried about you than I'm worried about me. And if I got to worry about you more than I'm worried about me, and you're not worried about me at all, then why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? So yeah, for me, it's simply, if it's not beneficial and it's actually hurting me, hurting my relationships, hurting my marriage, hurting my children, yeah, then I'm going to release you back into wherever you need to go.
Awesome. So letting go for me is also the standpoint of release. But for me, it's when I'm being caused more harm than good. That's when I realize that something must change and must shift. Letting go can be difficult. We are creatures of habit. So things are just one routine for us. So to say let go is not necessarily saying that it's something that's easy to do. It's just something that is necessary. So I love the fact that the whole theme was, when is it necessary? Because sometimes we just tend not to do it because we're just used to it. We'll keep getting hurt every day by the same people simply because it's convenient and comfortable, and we've taught ourselves that it's okay. And so letting go becomes necessary when it's causing you more harm than good. And so I've gone through it myself. I've had two friends who I thought was super close, and we were supposed to ride this out till the wheels fall off, and nobody was ever supposed to separate. Sometimes you even come to those realizations that those relationships are not healthy or beneficial. They're codependent. They're like, you're not growing. And so one key sign for me when things need to be let go is when the growth stops. And that's like the big red, you're gonna say, oh man, where's the red flag? The red flag is when the growth stops. So for me, letting go becomes a necessity when the growth stops.
I love that you guys are, each had kind of the same but differences as well, because letting go is definitely vital. And it does get to a point where you do tolerate the shenanigans because it's familiar. It's like if you had an old shoe, like your favorite pair of shoes, and they're worn at the bottom, you're going to still wear them shoes because they're your favorite. But at the same time, you're getting, sores on your foot. You might slip out of them a little bit. They might start to smell, but they still your favorite. And then you just keep adding stuff to it instead of just throwing it away and letting it go and, getting what really is beneficial for you, something that will help you walk a little better, or something that doesn't stink, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes we hold on to those things because of those reasons. So I definitely agree with each one of you. And letting go is not easy because we have been conditioned, like even when we were kids with toys. When toys are broken, sometimes we still hold on to it. That army man might have one arm, but that's still our favorite toy. Or this teddy bear is worn out and it has one eyeball, but that's still our favorite teddy bear. And that's just like that meme that God, they have about God with the little girl. She has this teddy bear that she loves so much and she wouldn't let it go. And God is saying, give it to me. And behind his back is this bigger, better teddy bear. And she won't receive that until she lets that one thing that she's holding on to go. So that's definitely a key sign when it's necessary too. When you're in a place of evolving, you have to let go so you can make room for what is standing in front of you or what's before you that could be better than what you thought was just good. You know what I mean?
I agree. But I never knew letting go existed. I never let go of people. I held on to people until the wheels fell off. Whether they hurt me, whether they treated me bad, I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt over and over again. It wasn't until recently where letting go became a part of my life, where I had to let go because now they're stunting my growth. They're stopping my peace. I need peace. The older you get, the more you need peace in your life. And when it started interrupting my peace and stopping my growth, then I started realizing that I had to let go. I had to clean up the house. I had to cut the grass. I had to mow the lawn. I had to get these people out of my life so I can rise to the next level. So letting go has never been something easy for me. And it's still not easy for me, because who wants to let go of people that they love, especially somebody that's been around you for years and years on hand, and now you got to let them go? Some people you don't feel you can live without, but they may be stopping you from getting to the next level. So that's my take on letting go.
So you guys kind of touched on this a little bit, and if anybody wants to go into specifics, you can. The next question is, why do you think people struggle with letting go, even when they know it's necessary?
I would say because it's familiar. We're on routine. So if you're consistently used to speaking to somebody on a daily basis, you know that becomes something that you're accustomed to. So you don't really want to stop that because it's familiar to you. And then that might put you in a state of being alone. And most people don't want to be alone. So they consistently keep putting themselves in situations that are not conducive to their well-being just to not be alone. So that's my take on that.
It's more of a comfort thing than anything. You become comfortable in knowing that person, being by that person, being with that person, being in contact with that person or thing, whatever that may be. Me personally, I'm a man. I have routine. My routine is my routine. When I get up in the morning, I do certain things. In the middle of the day, I do certain things, and I'm in my day a certain way. And when that's thrown off, it tends to throw everything else off too. So me personally, like, I call my mama, or my mama calls me every Sunday. Every single Sunday between 5 and 6 o'clock in the evening, my mama calls me and we have a conversation. If my mother don't call me that day, something's up, something's wrong. And I think we have that sort of comfort with other people as well. And a lot of times it's people that we love, quote unquote love. It's people that have, like Shay said, it's a familiarity that you have with that person, and it's a routine that you get in being in contact with that person. I'll give an example of my own. When I first got married, before I got married, I had a ton of female friends. And when I say friends, I mean just friends, never nothing more than just friendship. And when I got married, my wife had a problem with that, as she should. come for me to find out, as she should. And it was like, yo, this person got to go, that person got to go, this person got to go. I kid you not. When it comes to every female friend I've ever had, the one that we staring at in the screen is the only one that's left. And that's because that's my sister, and she knows that's my sister. And, we are godparents to each other's children. But I had to learn that, hey, if your wife has a problem with you having female friends, those friends may not be your friend 2, 3, 5, 10 years down the line, but yet you're causing a problem in your marriage because you don't want to let that friendship go. But like you said, it's hard. It was hard letting some of those friendships go. Some of those friendships I had since I was 13, 14 years old. But I had to let them go because I'm not going to create tension in my marriage and create problems with this woman that I got to sleep with every single night and wake up to every single day, because I don't want to release this person back into whatever purpose they have. So sometimes you got to think about, is this going to create a problem in other areas of my life? And if it does, you got to peace out.
I think as a whole, I agree with the rest of the individuals on the panel that it's about familiarity and being comfortable. The other portion is that some of us actually enjoy toxicity. So a lot of times we are drawn to it, right? So it's like they know they should let it go, but it's like, yo, I'm still kind of comfortable here, and this is still kind of fun, and I'm gonna be intentional about keeping it because this is what I want to do, and it's not about what comes afterwards. People do it simply because they want to, right? Now on the other side, where people don't necessarily want to, they just don't know how to let go, right? So it's like, I know it's necessary, but I don't necessarily know how. And they really need someone to walk alongside them to make that process and that transition happen. It is either whatever they should let go has to let go of them, or they need someone to like physically say, okay, today we're not calling that person. I know you're thinking about them. I know that they're on your mind, but instead of calling them and reaching out, write it down in the notebook. What is it that you really want them to say? And then when you don't get that, feeling of like, oh my goodness, I didn't call them today. Yes, you made one day, you didn't call them. We're going to do it again tomorrow. And we're going to write down what we really wanted to do. And we are now going to create a new habit, a new space of that person's not a part of you, right? The other thing that happens is people don't take the time to really do an evaluation. I mean, it was Thomas that said that you are so busy calling other people when they're in the middle of their own trouble, but when you're in your own, they're not calling you. They're not checking up on you. It's a one-way street type of relationship. A lot of times we will give excuses for other people's behavior. So it's like, hey, they got a lot going on too right now. So that's why they can't call me, even though I'm in my stuff. And, they appreciated me calling them when they were going through theirs. And I know they probably thinking about me. And we giving all these excuses as to why they not doing what they should do to show up for us. And so we just tend to waddle and sit and summer, and we just giving extra things. So it's like, maybe I don't really need to let that go. Like I think I do, but maybe not for real, because I've given so many excuses to it. So that's my answer. Typically too comfortable and attracted to the toxicity. And the other side is I don't really know how. No one's showing me.
It was the toxicity for me. Woo.
Okay.
So I want to say I survived the number. I survived, y'all. I survived the count. I made it. I'm the only one left at Thomas's arsenal. I made it. But I want to say the fear of unknown. A lot of the times people don't like to remove people because they fear what's on the other side. Like to Thomas's point, if it wasn't female friends platonically, say he had female friends he was romantically involved with, but this situation seemed a little more permanent, right? He wouldn't let them go just on the sake of we're not married yet. Even though he knows this situation might be leading towards that, a lot of the time some people don't get rid of the unnecessary weight is because they're fearful of what could happen. Now, what if I do let this person go and then I get played? Now I done lost all my friends and this, we not even in a relationship, or these quote unquote friends, that we have, or whatever the case may be. I'll get rid of this because of this reason. And then now I'm looking like, they played in my face, or whatever the case. So it's like, we do love the toxicity. And then sometimes it's the fear of the unknown as well. But like you said, Coach Tammy, and this is author Nikki Nicole's favorite, she's been using this ever since you said it, showing up. It's all about, really doing the work and showing up for yourself and figuring out who gives you that same peace that you give yourself. Who shows up for you like you show up for you, or close to it, right? They might not show up like you show up, but they're close to it. They'll call you, they'll check in on you. If you go missing, Nikki's good with that. 24 hours. If I don't hear from you, I'm coming to find you. Who was that, or who was just okay with your absence? Let me not get a meme or send Thomas a meme. He knows to come check on me because something wrong with me, because I'm going to send him a meme. If I don't hear from Nikki, I know I got to check on Nikki. If I don't see no motivational content from Shay, I know something going on. So those people who pay attention, that's who you should pay attention to. But we get so caught up in the fluff because some people like to take up space and they show up and the toxicity is so loud that we don't get that opportunity to sit in the quiet. So sometimes we have to sit in the quiet to really think about and strategize and see who is showing up for us like we're showing up for them, and then just let it go when it doesn't align.
Absolutely, man. I have been using that since she said it, because she made me open my eyes to my own self. Like when I started showing up for myself, that's when I started losing people. And that's the sad part, because I was showing up for them and never showing up for myself. But I think the main struggle with letting people go is love. Love will make you stay in anything, relationships, friendships. Love will make you give second, third, fourth, fifth chances in a situation because you love them. You don't want to lose somebody that you love. And just like Shera said, if I don't say something, if I don't say anything to her in that 24 hours, I'm big on 24 hours. If I don't talk to you in them 24 hours, and I know she don't talk on the phone, but she'll talk to me though. She'll talk to me. She'll call me. She'll talk to me. And if I don't hear her voice in those 24 hours, I told her, I said, I'm coming to Jersey and you're going to make me some macaroni and cheese and I'm going to fry some chicken. I'm not playing with you. You're not going missing on me like that. I really believe a person that cares about you, they're going to know that you're absent in their lives. And that's why it's so hard for me to let go of people, because I pay attention like that. I know when something's wrong, if they're quiet for the day, or if they're not calling me, or they didn't text me, something, if they weren't on social media, you have to, people that you love, you actually observe what they do and how they do it and how they move. So that's the hardest thing when it comes to me. The biggest struggle, if I love you, it's hard for me to let you go. I let go of a 20-year friendship, y'all. And it was hard because me and this person went through all kind of seasons together. They were the reason why I met who I'm married to. So I felt like, okay, I don't want to lose this person, but I had to let them go because the more I elevated, the more they tried to bring me down. So I had to eventually let them go, just for the sake of my peace and for my growth. 20 years. So that's why I think the struggle is love.
Yeah, that plays a big part too, because it's like with the time frame, we feel like, okay, these are my day ones and we got these years invested in all of the things, right? So this person I've known for 20 years versus this person I've known for 2 months, where you are now, you weren't where you were 20 years ago. So people evolve, people change. So you have to do that self-assessment to realize, okay, yeah, well, maybe we can't, that's not our relationship anymore. We don't do that. Like, okay, so example, I'm gonna use Thomas again. Before he got married, me and him talked every day, right? So 7 a.m. when I wake up, we kikiing, texting back and forth all day. But when he got married, that merged. I don't talk to him like that every day. He's still there, he's still present, but the roles shift because life has shifted and things have changed. So sometimes you have to know when, okay, this person got to go to the back seat a little bit, or this person got to just move to the side, or this person needs to be removed, period. But like we hear those timelines, and it's just like we feel like we have to hold on because those years mean something. You have family members that you are blood related to that you don't even talk to or you don't need to have in your life, but we have those family members that we keep around because they have a quote unquote title as family members, and that's the same thing. So the next question is, what emotions usually come up for you when you're faced with the need to let go? And I'll leave the question up so you can see it.
So the emotions that come up for me when I need to let go is usually fear. Um, I'm letting go of something so comfortable, right? Something that I know is no good for me, but sometimes might feel good to me. You get what I'm saying? So I'm scared. I'm scared of what I'm gonna miss out when that person leaves my life. For instance, when I had two relationships, two friendships that with two women that I grew up with that I'm no longer friends with, and my fear and my emotion was I'm no longer going to be able to do the stuff with them that I used to do, like so it was fun, even though I know they weren't good for me. Um, no, I'm gonna rephrase that. They were in the beginning good for me because it was that moment in time. That's where I was at. You understand? But as I grew, they did not. Our interests changed. So my emotion was like, why am I the outsider? Why am I the outsider in my own group? So first is like, all right, realization. I don't belong here. So that's a fear because I don't belong here, right? So now it's like, well, then where do I belong? So now I'm trying to figure out. I have no way. So now I'm confused because I don't know what's next for me. So that's my emotion. I'm just all over the place, right? I'm in fear. I don't know my next move. I done lost my friends. I know I need to let them go, but I don't want to, right? So now I'm gonna get depressed because I don't have nobody. I don't have nobody to turn to, you know. Uh, And that's what happened to me. I got depressed. I went into I stayed in the room. I stayed in that room because everything that I knew was within these women, and now they no longer here. And the way that God removed them, it shook my whole life upside down. It just shook. It took away my job, and it almost took away my relationship. So I was all over the place, you know. And God set me down in that moment, and He used me to heal myself because he gave me a notebook and a pen and he told me to write. So instead of me pouring myself into other people, like I usually do, I would call them to vent to them. You know, he made me become by myself. He made me still and within myself, and I had to depend on myself to heal myself. So my writing became the way I released my friends. The emotion behind that after my depression and my writing everything was released because I was able to now see everything that happened to me and I was able to feel everything that was happening to me and then I was able to actually help myself because within me writing down my struggles of what I was going through, God gave me he gave me a word to myself that I had to read back to myself that I didn't even know that I wrote down. So when I read my book after what I do when I write my thoughts down, I go back and I read them. Read my notebooks. Once I'm done, I just read all my notebooks, and there's always messages to myself, and it feels good to be able to read some life into me, to speak some life back into me that I always give myself. So the emotion behind me losing my friend was fear, it was confusion, it was um all of that. Because now I felt that I really felt that, and I thought it was something wrong with me at first. Like, what's going on with me? Why am I the one that's always getting removed from people? Why am I always being hurt? Why do I keep pouring into people and I get nothing back? Why am I always the one checking on people and nobody's checking back? Like, I'm empty. I keep pouring and pouring and pouring, but who's filling me? So now I feel used and abused and unloved, and I don't feel like nobody cares about me. So the emotion I felt after losing my friends was alone. I was alone and I had nobody. And I had to go within. That's all I can say.
Um, for me personally, it depends on the reason I'm letting you go. Um, right now, the people that I'm having to let go is hurt. It's hurt that I feel. Um, because like I said, these are people that I grew with that I feel now I no longer have that growth attachment to. Um, these are people that like Shay said, I poured into constantly. I'm pouring and I'm pouring and I'm pouring. And at a certain amount, it's like I can't pour no more. So I'm at a point where my cup is empty, but those people that I poured into now have nothing for me. And I'm at a point where I have to be selfish. Um, some people call this, letting your friends go selfish, and it just may be. But if my selfishness is what helps me to continue growing, then I'm going to be selfish. Because I always say it, once you stop growing, you start dying. And if I'm not growing with you, I will grow without you. In the past, having to let go, it really depended on the reason I let go. Because it was brought up, so some of us love the toxicity. I love getting rid of it. I will cut you off in a hot second. I have no problems. My 15-year-old daughter, she's the same way. Once you cross a certain line, I have no problem cutting you out of my life with no issues, because I will not allow you to, for lack of a better term, disrespect me or disrespect my morals and beliefs. And if I need to, I got a pair of scissors waiting in the back to cut the thread, because I don't have a problem letting go of the toxicity. I learned that when I was 19 years old. I don't have no problem cutting you off at all, because if I keep you around, you're going to pull. I'm going to be the crab you're pulling out of the top of the barrel, and I refuse to be that. So in certain instances, like Shay, it's fear and hurt. In other instances, it's freedom.
Can I chime in on that real quick? For freedom, how long does it take one to get to freedom, though?
For me, it can be instant, or in other situations, like some of my friends, it'll be years. It really just depends on that person, how close you were, and the reason you had to let go. But when you have to let go of those people that you are bonded to, that could take years, and sometimes it can take.
I agree with that. In reference to the freedom piece, the freedom piece really comes behind the why. So when you know the why to the let go, sometimes you can give yourself permission to be free, to be okay. So a lot of times we don't give ourselves permission for the freedom. We just are so tied to the absenteeism of people being gone. And so you then turn, instead of like letting it go, you then marry the pain. And when you marry the pain, it's hard to get the freedom. You have to know the why, understand the why, and move towards the freedom intentionally. I've lost two friends, one that I wasn't like super, like a lot of years with, and then one that technically we're family. Like, I'm the godmother to her only child. You know what I mean? So we super close, but we no longer talk any longer. I mean, we're talking about, man, my godson will be 20 in June. So it's 20 plus year relationship that is no longer. And it didn't even happen from a standpoint of, you no longer serve me, I no longer serve you, we're no longer growing. It was just an incident, and it is what it is, right? But at the same time, as much as I did not agree per se with the separation or with the dismantle of the relationship, you also can be on the other end, right? Not just that they have been taken from you, but they may no longer want you in their space. And so letting go happens on both ends. I just think that you have to be willing to really experience what is it and the why behind it. So the different emotions that you can get from it, definitely anxiety, fear, anger, hurt, all of those things accompany with it. And then you do have the freedom. I think it's a little different when we cut people off intentionally because of something that we ourselves are saying, you know what, this is not it. I've already divorce the situation in my mind and my heart, body, and soul. Doesn't mean I won't miss the equation, but it's like I'm done with that. Like, as Thomas said, you disrespect me, it's a wrap. Like, I'm not really letting you go. I really equate cutting off and letting go to be two different categories, because it's more so like when I'm letting something go, it is a struggle, because it's not something I really want to let go. It's like I'm being not necessarily forced, it's just a requirement in order for me to do something better or more. And when I'm like cutting people off, because no, I ain't really letting you go. I did exactly what it said. I cut you off. I didn't let you go. I mean, I sliced that thing in half real quick and let you go on about your business. When I'm letting you go, it's like a rope. It's like, no, don't go. Wait, maybe it's that tug of war type of a thing when you letting somebody go. It's really not as easy that as a cutoff is. And so the emotions, they're there. Shay, I would speak to you and say, because I saw the emotion behind your message. My message to you would be this. When we love ourselves, when we get to know ourselves and love ourselves, a lot of times the relationships that we desire to hold on to, we see where we didn't fit. And if I didn't fit for a reason, right? And I'm a whole person and I'm enough. And everything that's about me is enough for whatever situation I encounter. And so therefore, when those relationships have to move on, I am no longer in the capacity for them. You know what I'm saying? Like my space is no longer available. It's outgrown the situation. It's like trying to put something. You can't put a square in a round peg, right? You got too much other space around there. So for you, I would just encourage you to say, you know what? That no longer serves me. It did. Wherever space I was in back when we were in this relationship, it was serving that purpose, but that purpose is no longer available. And what purpose do I have now? Be grateful for what it was, because whatever it was, it taught you some things. You had some lessons, you had some experiences that you can always look back on and say, yep, that was cool then. But if I'm going to grow, I can't stay stuck in the back. Like, I can't stay stuck there. As painful as my 20-year relationship is, that it's no longer there, I can't stay stuck there. I have to look at, okay, that what did I gain from it? Be grateful for what I gained, because it turned me into the person that I am for the next phase that I'm going through. And who else am I supposed to connect to? If I'm so stuck on that other person that I lost, I'm going to miss the connection that I'm supposed to get. And if you don't want that either. So I just encourage you to, just look at it as not necessarily a loss, but look at it as this was what it was. It's just what it was. It served its purpose. And it's time to move forward. That purpose is over. What's the next purpose? And who's the next person that's supposed to be connected to me? Because whoever it is, I can't stifle their growth based upon being stuck on that other person.
Yeah, she came in.
Sometimes you don't even know how much you need that, because you speak into everybody else, but nobody really gives that back. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, y'all. Y'all got me in my feelings. For me, it's devastation. My emotion is devastation, because when I love people wholeheartedly and intentionally, and my intentions are always pure. And then it can go to anger, because I'm from Jersey City, and that's what happens. It goes to anger. And then after the anger, freedom comes eventually. And then acceptance, because you realize, like you said, Coach Tammy, that the removal was necessary because it opened doors for someone else. And sometimes what we have is good, but in all the time, when God removes a thing, he removes it to give you better. And we have to get ourselves to that mental space where we accept, okay, this loss is not a loss. It's a lesson behind this. Maybe it wasn't about them, it was about you. Because sometimes we are planted in people's lives to show them something. And we get so caught up in just, the feels because we love them and it's, our friends or whatever the case may be. We get devastated in their removal. But sometimes we've done our job. They've got what they needed from us. And we have to move forward because we have a job to do, especially when you are a life coach, you are a healer, you're naturally the person that people come to all the time for advice. You always feel depleted because people just take from you. There's not a lot of times where you can count on multiple hands the people that can pour back into you. So when you do have those people, it's best to just, cherish them because every situation is temporary. We're all, going to pass away at some point. So a temporary situation could be 20 years versus another one could be 2 months. Everything is temporary because we're not here permanently to stay. And when you realize that people have a season and a reason, it gets a little easier to navigate through. So, Shay, I love you, girl. And you know that I am definitely one of the ones that's always in the background cheering you on. I'm always going to be here. So don't never feel like you are alone. Me and you got young kids, so it get a little cray-cray. But I'm always a text away, call away, messenger away. I'm here for you. So I'm going to turn it back over to author Nikki Nicole because that's the end of my questions.
She always do that.
I just want to say one more thing. We also have to be aware of our assignments and our alignments. Some people we are aligned with and some people we are assigned to. And so if it's an assignment, then you know how to go in and handle that assignment, just like in school. You get an assignment to do, it has a due date, you turn it in and it's over. You get your grade and you keep it moving. And then you have some people that you are aligned with, and that alignment is more so for something to walk alongside. It's to be there for a long time. It's not just there for a moment. And so when you are engaging with people, you have to have a spirit of discernment and you have to ask, is this an assignment or an alignment? And when you decide what it is, it's easier to let it go when it's just an assignment because you're there for a moment and for a reason, and then you can keep it moving.
Absolutely. It took me all my life to realize that, God uses you to help people. You're supposed to be just that bridge and just move right along. But I've been wanting to stay. It's the heartbreak for me. It feels like when I lose people, it's a funeral. I'm mourning. I'm trying to get back to myself, and people don't know. You sit and you really think about this stuff, the things that you said to them, the conversations that you had, the things that you shared. You thought they loved you, you loved them. So it's like I'm just burying somebody that I'm never gonna see again, and I got to deal with this some kind of way. So you go into a state of depression. You go into a state of I don't want to be bothered, and then you start to become bitter. I was at that state of being bitter 2 times where I was like, ain't nobody gonna get this part of me no more. But that's not fair, because just like Coach Tammy says, there's some people that are assignment, and there's some people that align with you, and there's a lot of people out there that align with me. Y'all align with me perfectly, so y'all don't. It's not fair for me to take out what somebody else did to me towards you when you're aligned with me. So, hey, I'm gonna get off that soapbox. I was almost about to get on a soapbox, but yeah, I'm here for you. You there for me probably more than I'm there for you. But I be needing it uplift, and I didn't realize you need it. See? But I'm here. I'm here for you anytime you need
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all.
But thank y'all so much for supporting me. This means so much to me to have y'all on this most powerful compassion. I love the compassion tables because it lets people see real things. And opens their eyes, because there's a lot of people out there that are closed-minded, that need to think about some things in their lives and the things that they're doing to people and how they're hurting people and why people are letting people go. And it's not easy. It's really not easy. So this is the time, y'all, if y'all been on Breaking the Silence, all of y'all been on Breaking the Silence, this is your 30 seconds of fame. Shay, I'm going to start with you. Let everybody know what's coming up for you, about your amazing coaching journey, books, anything you got coming up.
I have 2 children's books I'm working on, just teaching children how to work on self-love, because as you can see, we all need some self-love. We need to tap into that at an early age so we won't be as adults struggling. We have some ebooks teaching you how to learn how to guide yourself and your intuition, how to tap into that, and just how to be the master of your day, just having great productivity skills. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Shay Williams. Have a good day.
Shay, keep pushing, keep pushing. You're amazing. You're amazing. Thomas, you're next.
I'm just a regular man, living a regular life, serving an irregular God. Just living life. And I encourage you to live yours. Live yours for you. And when you live yours for you, everything else will follow. You can find me. I'm attached to Shera. All her socials. Just look for my name. I'll be there.
He's right, too. All right, Coach Tammy Nicole.
But I am Coach Tammy Nicole. I help successful single moms who feel overwhelmed and unsupported establish an unshakable self-love so that they can become confident, empowered, and effective moms. And I have a coaching program. If you are interested, if you are looking to say, how can I set healthy boundaries, prioritize my self-care, and by enabling them to navigate motherhood, like that's what you're looking for. You're like, how do I not give my toxicity or cause trauma to my children as I'm trying to navigate life myself? Definitely hit me up. I am on all social media platforms under Tammy Nicole. Coach Tammy Nicole on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. And you can also send me an email at coaching@IamTammyNicole.com.
Thank you so much, Coach Tammy. Hey, sis, this has been a nice round, another compassion table under the feet. And I hope everybody can. Huh?
I said, yes, it has been. It's been good. Emotional. You have you in my feelings. Y'all know I'm a crybaby.
I had you in your feelings.
Y'all, all of y'all had me.
You know, I had tears in the eyes. You helped me see me just shake my head. I was trying to.
Doug, I'm not gonna cry online. I'll cry afterwards.
Shake me have to do me like that. I'm over here like, no, I'm sensitive. Man, but you know, it's important that people know what it is to let go, you know, and how to let go. Like Coach Tammy said, you gotta know the why. You gotta know the why so you can be free. As always, I thank everybody for coming across the platform. Sis, thank you for always standing in the gaps and hosting with me, because you know I'm a little shy, so I need a little help sometimes. What? I am shy. And look at
Child.
I'm very shy.
Well, your graphics ain't shy, child. So I that's you better get loud like your graphics, because
I'm not dealing with you tonight. I'm not dealing.
You need to get over that.
As I always say, everybody, know that your life matters, your voice matters, and whatever you're trying to do in this lifetime, you can do it. It's all about mindset. So until next time, continue to break the silence in your own life. Later.